Hello, welcome back to everybody. This is the 8th video from the series dedicated to my vacuum tubes integrated amplifier project. In this video I would like to show you the progress recently made on that, which is mainly related to the Arduino logic and to the user interaction. Also, progress was achieved on the global layout of the equipment and on the digital to analog converter module. So having said that, thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think you are used to see this kind of view of the amplifier. This is again in upside down position, just to show you the progress since last time. Here you can see Arduino Mega. I progressed in the programming of that. Arduino is currently driving the two displays. First display is showing the particular selected input. Second display is showing relevant information relevant for the particular selected input. In this moment you can see not correct numbers for the frequency just because the tuner module is currently switched off. So Arduino is also driving the input selection unit. You might see this tiny board with 4 yellow relays. This is driven by Arduino and is in charge of course, selecting one of the 4 available inputs. As you remember, the first input will be the integrated FM tuner. Second input will be the integrated Bluetooth module. You might see this tiny board here. This is the Bluetooth module. Third input will be the auxiliary analog plugs. You can see them here. And fourth input will be the future digital to analog converter module, which will be installed here in this space. You can see it here. This is the preamplifier you have seen already with the motorized volume control and the 2 tone controls, and this is the power supply section with all the outputs for all the amplifier sections. Here I just hooked up a temporary FM antenna, and this is the Bluetooth antenna. I would like to show you now an example of user interaction. So an example of how the user will utilize the unit. In this moment the amplifier is switched on completely, so every section is switched on, including of course Arduino and the displays. In this moment you can see the FM tuner is selected, and as you can see here, the received frequency is shown as well. So if I increase the volume, you can hear, the sound coming from the tuner module. Just to show you that the sound is really coming from the tuner. So if I turn this knob here, this is an encoder connected with Arduino, I can select other inputs. For example, an auxiliary input. In this moment I don't have auxiliary device. I don't have devices connected to the auxiliary input. So another input is the integrated Bluetooth receiver, which is currently receiving from my mobile phone. and again I'm very happy with the sound coming from the unit. The DAC input, the digital to analog converter, as I mentioned before, this is still not completed. The user has the possibility to select both SPDIF digital to analog converter input and, sorry, I went too fast, and optical digital to analog converter. And then I have another position which I find quite interesting, quite useful for me at least. As you can imagine, on this display you can see the current power drawn by each one of the power tubes. This is in idle, more or less idle, because the volume is set to the minimum. So I have the possibility to check if I'm applying correct polarization voltage to each one of the tubes. As I have mentioned previously, the design of the digital to analog converter module is completed. I just need to put that into practice. I just need to build the actual unit. But this will look like, as you can see here. So the signal coming from either coaxial input or optical input is fed here. This relay is the one which allows the user to select between the two. So to select between the optical input and the coaxial input. Then the signal is fed here. This is a receiver, digital receiver chip. In this case it's a CS8414 receiver chip. Then the signal, still digital of course, the digital signal goes into the real digital to analog converter chip. In this case I have chosen the TDA1543. These are a family of chips which is well known for their very smooth sound, which in my opinion is the perfect match with a tube amplifier.